Good morning, Tampa Bay, and welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, Tampa Bay's #1 show for all things entrepreneurial in business in Central Florida. We're having a great day today with my co-host Doug Ford of Suncoast Roofing Solutions. How you doing, Doug?
Everything's good. How are you?
Doing great today. You can tell.
Yeah, except for the Lightning loss last night.
Oh, let's not bring that up too much.
It's all about peaking. It's all about when you peak.
Yeah, and we did not peak. We absolutely did
Peaked
not
at the wrong time.
Yeah, that booming voice. I haven't heard that booming voice over there in at least 3 weeks or
Yes,
2.5. Yeah, that's Mr. Ryan Pelky, guys, the owner of TampaBay Plumbers, my other co-host. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Great to be back.
Back, but where were you, Cuba?
I was Cuba last week, and I was sick the week before, so it was much better to be in Cuba healthy than sick the week before. But I had 2 good reasons to miss.
Those are. How was Cuba?
I can't wait to go back.
Nice.
Put it that way.
All right, guess everything I've heard it is.
It was interesting. We got back on the cruise boat, and I look over across the bay, and there's this house that's just burning down.
Oh,
And no emergency responders, no fire trucks. It just burned and burned and burned. I'm sitting up there drinking cocktails, watching it burn down for 2 hours.
what?
That's Cuba.
That's Cuba.
That's Cuba.
In a nutshell. All right.
Beautiful buildings.
No
Hopefully
fire
they don't
department.
catch on fire. It's like the Cathedral of Notre Dame.
There's no fire department.
Oh, man, speaking of that Notre
That's
Dame
very
thing
sad.
was very, very sad. Lots of history lost in that. I heard they saved most of the relics and everything, so that's good stuff.
Almost 1,000 years old.
Yeah, that is very sad. So, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Business Happy Hour. Ryan and Doug and myself, Frank Coto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813 Mortgage, we are 3 successful entrepreneurs who take time out of our busy schedules every Wednesday at 11 a.m. live to come to you guys and offer advice, tips, what's happened to us in our business worlds, trials and tribulations of starting a business, running a business, and overall just how to be successful in business. And today is no different. We do encourage you, if you're a business owner or maybe you're just a local guy who wants to start a business and you'd like to chime into the show, you're welcome to call. Remember, this is a live show. Gary, how do they reach us if they want to do that?
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
All right. And that's if you want to call in. You're welcome to do that today. If you would like to become a guest on the show, we will check you out and see if you're qualified, but we'd love to have you. You can email us to our email address, which is bhhiheart@gmail.com. That's BHH for Business Happy Hour, iheart@gmail.com. So give us a ring if you'd like to be a guest on the show. So every show we like to start with our opening monologue, and guys, today is going to be a good one, I promise you. Friends, have you ever heard the old saying that it's not what you know, but it's who you know? That old saying holds more true than almost any other adage in history. From getting into schools to getting jobs to getting free tickets to events, getting into parties or clubs, or even getting picked on the Little League team, it stands true with everything we do in life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. What exactly does that mean? Well, sitting here right in the room right now with me in the studio, we've got my co-host Ryan and Doug, and it dawned on me when I was writing this morning that all 3 of us got into our respective businesses because of someone we knew who was either in the business already or finding success in something we wanted to do. The person that you know isn't always the person that gives you the job. They might just give you an idea or introduce you to the right person. They might be a connector between you and your next career. Ryan comes from a very long line of successful master plumbers, and Ryan knew people, obviously, in that industry, which is what got him where he is today. Doug, for example, he used to own a car custom audio shop, but he knew a successful roofer, and so Doug decided to go into the roofing business, and years later, look at the success that Suncoast Roofing Solutions has found. For me, I started by making a connection for one of my fraternity brothers with Ryan. Actually, is one of his fraternity brothers as well, back at Florida State. He graduated half a semester before us and came down to Tampa. That was a booming business market around 2000. And he called me one day and said, "Hey, do you know anybody in Tampa to help me find a job in the financial sector? I'm not having any luck." So it happened that I knew a family friend who was in mortgages. So I set him up into the mortgage industry. And about 6 weeks later, I'll never forget this. Nick called with the exact words, "They're printing money down here. They're printing money." I literally will never forget that.
This is Moon?
This is Nick Moon. Nick Moon. And by the way, Nick Moon, great guy. He's found a lot of success in the seafood industry now. He's opened a couple restaurants in Merritt Island. in the seafood business, and he's actually about to go out to Colorado in a venture and open 2 more restaurants out there. So that's good for Nick if you're listening. So Nick tells me they're printing money, and at the time, I was thinking about going into radio and TV broadcast, but then I found out the pathway was a little more difficult, let's say, than I thought. You really had to start at the bottom, and I realized I really didn't have a connection. I couldn't get into that and start anywhere but the very bottom. So it came full circle for Nick. I graduated Florida State, and I went to work for the same family friend that I had set him up with 19 years later, and of course the rest is history with Lincoln Lending Group. Now, you still have to have a good head on your shoulders and a good business sense to be able to start a business or be successful in life, but the phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know, still holds true. Everybody needs a good start in life, and every business today has to be started with the right principles and a business plan. Our guest today has taken this phrase to the next level. He's created an extremely successful business over the years right here in Tampa Bay by simply making connections. He puts people together. He introduces you to the right people. He can offer you solutions to take care of your marketing for literally less than half the cost of a good marketing or sales rep. Today's guest has taken the phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know, and elevated it. He has elevated this phrase and countless Tampa companies. And speaking of elevate, that's the name of his business. I'd like to welcome Akash Patel to the Business Happy Hour.
That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Frank.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. And also, go Noles. I'm a Seminole, so it's good to be around fellow Florida State Seminoles.
Yes,
Man, I found that out about you this morning. That means you're already a good guy. You're a Nole.
It's going to be a good year for us.
Well, I say that every year. Hopefully, it'll be better than last year.
No, I think so.
I think it's going to be great. So, Akash, we've got a few minutes here. I'd like to get an idea, who you are. I know, but I want the listeners to know, where did you come from? Give us a little background on you, and then we'll start talking about your business.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. I went to high school in Tampa. We grew up in New Jersey. Went to high school here, Sickles High School in Citrus Park. Went to Florida State, and I wanted to kind of like you. I wanted to be a journalist, and I got a job at the TampaBay Times up in Tallahassee when I was in college, and realized that journalism was a great field. It just wasn't for me, and so I worked there for 3 years. Came back to Tampa because this is a great city. I found a home in South Tampa and had a lot of friends that were coming back here too. And I started getting involved in the community in different aspects of different organizations, and realized that it's a little tougher to break through than most cities.
When did you come back?
2006.
2006. Okay, that was right before the financial collapse. So that was a tough time.
Yeah, and the job market was actually okay, but then, I saw it hit.
Yeah.
And my family is in hospitality here, and so my dad's a partner, minority partner in the Westin Hotel there on Rocky Point. So we started construction in 2006, and we didn't open until 2009.
Wow.
Because, there was the times were tough. So we opened in 2009, and if you remember 2009, we had a Super Bowl here.
Yeah.
It was Steelers versus Cardinals, and so we had all these fans here, right? We opened that week.
Wow.
January 22nd, 2009. Oh, wow.
Was that your goal? And you guys were like, we better open for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, because you could, when there's Super Bowl here, everyone wants to be here, especially
Plus,
Pittsburgh.
you had to take reservations and everything, I'm sure.
Well,
pre-reservations.
Well, yeah, then we couldn't until we opened. So it was like everyone walked in, and it was great. But then what happened is the Super Bowl was a great game, and then the next day, all the tourism went away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just disappeared.
Yeah, because we were a business traveler hotel, and businesses cut travel during their downturn.
Right.
So
it's a tough time.
To make a long story short, I went into work for my family business and work with our sales teams on how to use social media and get involved in the community. And it worked really well. We were the #1 hotel in TampaBay in 2010.
Wow, nice.
And
awesome.
My friends were like, you know what? You're doing well here. Why don't I come back to the city? Why don't I get involved and become an entrepreneur?
All right.
And the one thing, and you know this because you all three are great entrepreneurs, the one thing when you start a business is to first get business. It's hard.
Right.
You got to be tenacious.
So they called me and they said, would you mind helping me? And I said, I don't mind helping you. And then another person called me and said, I don't mind helping you. And the next, I'm Googling how to write a business plan. And I wrote a business plan, and that's what Elevate Inc. is today.
I
So
love
that was
it.
2012.
I love it.
Ryan's the king of the business plan.
I am,
He's
yeah.
our stat guy on the show as well, so we're happy to have you back, by the way, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back, and I love that. I love that you did that. I bought a book called How to Start a Business in Florida, and when I was 21, and before I started my first company, and wrote my business plan over a couple months, and dove in head first. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
If I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I did it.
But I remember when you started. I mean, you went to all your friends. You presented the business plan. You presented investment opportunities.
Yeah.
There was a name of it. A lot of friends, threw in some money, and And but it's because you had that plan.
Yeah, $5,000 I got to start up.
Yeah.
It's all the startup money I got, and it worked out.
Yeah, a lot of clients don't want to hire somebody if you don't have the experience. So obviously that's always the toughest part.
Yeah, I was 21 years old interviewing 40-year-old guys.
Yeah, age was a big factor too. I mean, they look at you and said, "How could you know so much?" I'm like,
I don't even actually have on my business cards. I don't even say that I own the company or anything. Because back in the day, people were like, I'm the salesperson.
Right.
I didn't tell them I ever own the company at all.
Because of age?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying, Akash? Age, the way people look at you?
Most of my clientele, they have big tile roofs, so they have lots of money. They looked at me like, I'm like, yeah, I'm just a salesman.
Well, to your point, I mean, my business is all about introducing people to people. And they said, well, I started at 27. They said, you're 27. How many people could you know? I've lived in this town longer than you have. I mean, you're right. But you haven't been in the same situations.
Yep.
Right. And it's a good point. It's not always, how long you've been here. Because, for instance, I know somebody right now who's been here in town and he got laid off and he's had a great job, but he hasn't been connected. So he doesn't know who to talk to, and he's going through the whole resume thing just by putting them online, and that doesn't work. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Business Happy Hour, and when we get back, we're going to have more with Akash Patel and Elevate. You can find them at elevate-inc.com or their Twitter handle at Patel Times. That's at Patel Times. You guys are listening to the Business Happy Hour live on 1250 and also on Sunday mornings on 970. We thank you for listening. We'll be back in just a minute with Frank Coto, Doug Ford, and Ryan Pelky. Have all the rain and storms this year left your roof unprotected? Do you need an honest, reliable, and trustworthy roofing company? Call Suncoast Roofing Solutions today at 813-283-2544 for a free evaluation and no obligation estimate. You'll appreciate their personalized solutions and no-pressure consultants. You can find Suncoast Roofing Solutions on the web at suncoastroofingsolutions.com, where honesty, integrity, and craftsmanship come first. This is Frank Coto, president of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com, your no junk fee mortgage lender. If you're a veteran and you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, please visit 813mortgage.com today and complete your fast, free 5-minute VA loan application. My team will approve you in less than 24 hours, and we will beat any written loan estimate from any other bank. Thank you to all of our customers who made us the #1 mortgage lender in Tampa over the last 19 years. Call 813mortgage today. And don't forget, you drop the E, we'll drop your fee.
Hey, are you a plumber in Tampa Bay or know a plumber looking for a great career change? Tampa Bay Plumbers is looking for several qualified service plumbers with top compensation packages between $75,000 and $100,000 per year, offering paid holidays, vacation pay, major medical, and unbeatable work environment. We are the highest rated company because of our plumbers, and we want you to join our team today. Call 813-PLUMBER. That's 813-PLUMBER. Remember, plumbing problems are no problem for Tampa Bay Plumbers.
Do we really want to import Bernie Sanders socialism into Florida? That's exactly what 2 bills in the Florida legislature would do. These bills replace some American prescription drugs in Florida with imported drugs from foreign countries that have socialized medicine and price controls. That's risky for Florida patients. Shifting Florida's drug supply to these foreign countries would also import their socialist policies like price controls. Price controls have always resulted in shortages, and they destroy innovation. Over time, price controls will cripple new American treatments for diseases like MS and cancer. And while Americans might believe they were buying their drugs from places like Canada, Canadian socialized medicine doesn't provide enough drugs for export. This risky scheme means Florida's drugs would actually come from countries like China and India. Florida should resist socialist price controls and reject House Bill 19 and Senate Bill 1528, paid for by Americans for Tax Reform.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Have all the rain and storms this year left your roof unprotected? Do you need an honest, reliable, and trustworthy roofing company? Call Suncoast Roofing Solutions today at 813-283-2544 for a free evaluation and no obligation estimate. You'll appreciate their personalized solutions and no-pressure consultants. You can find Suncoast Roofing Solutions on the web at suncoastroofingsolutions.com, where honesty, integrity, and craftsmanship come first.
You're listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, Tampa Bay's #1 show for all things entrepreneurial. We would love to have you guys call in if you have any comments. And that number is, Gary, how do they call in again?
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Thank you, Gary. He's our favorite video producer, by the way, Gary. And he's got a radio face like I've never seen. It's beautiful, beautiful. So in studio today, we have one of my favorite guests. I'm having fun. Akash Patel of Elevate. It's elevate-inc.com. And you guys don't really know what he does yet. We know that he connects people. Matter of fact, sitting in the room, we've already figured out multiple connections here. Doug's working for his family. Ryan and him know some mutual people. Akash and I just have to do some business together.
That's it, man. I'm ready to start today.
There you go. And then it's a perfect I got my checkbook. Do you have yours?
I've got mine.
You ready to buy a house?
And I got a business card too, you know. So.
All right. See, we're set. We've connected each other now. So Akash, you've told us you came from Jersey, went to Sickles. That's great, right near Ryan and I's house, actually. And Florida State guy. We love ourselves some Florida State. But the show is about business and connections. And Elevate is your business. You created it because basically you found that you were just connecting people and you weren't getting paid to do it. So you found a niche and you ran with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you know, you can hire someone to do what we do, one person, but there's a lot of, when you're starting, there's a lot of risk, and there's also a lot of stress on your budget, right? You don't know how much they're going to bring in, so you don't know how much to spend. And so we're a fixed cost model, and what I promise is we will take you to 17 to 32 events as our guests per month. We will introduce you to up to 60 people a month.
Wow.
And we will have a social media following where one of my colleagues, Chelsea, is here with us today, where we've got Chelsea and a couple other folks on our team that do nothing but content writing, because I find that no matter what your business profession is, you're by writing your own content, you're #1 struggling with that, and you're doing something you're not taught how to do, right? So you're out of your element. So we've got the kind of a team that is good content writers, and they push it on our network, which, as Rick will tell you here, your photographer at large, I mean, it really gets a whole nother viewpoint of basically credibility.
How many events did you say you do?
17 to 32 events per month.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Man, so you're a busy man. Every night you're doing something.
Sleep is overrated, my friend.
Sleep when you're dead.
Exactly.
I like it.
Hey, speaking of Rick, I mean, because Rick, Akash and I knew each other through Rick as well.
Yeah.
It's a mutual connection. Rick, our favorite photographer in town. I got to give a shout out to Rick. It's Rick Talceda. Go to rickvisuals.com. Rickvisuals.com. Did you put my 40th pictures up yet? Today. He did my 40th birthday party. Amazing pictures. So we're gonna have those up for the world to see. Sorry, gosh, we both love Rick. I had to interject.
Of course, yeah, no. I mean, I was just wondering why I didn't get invited to the 40th. She was like, "What's up with that?"
I gave Rick your invitation. He just showed up with a camera without you. Maybe.
So do you mostly would you rather have people that are like startup companies, or are you more companies that are established? What's your favorite client?
So great question. So startups are always great because they like to value time. I mean, everyone likes to value time, but startups are really pulled in different directions.
Yep.
So yes, companies that can't afford really a business development director or a marketing director, we work with them. But then the other type is actually the relocated corporation, right? So we're working with a company right now that has 6,000 employees. Their CEO came here from Boston. You know, he's got a great senior leadership team, but he's getting pulled in different directions to donate to charities, to attend different organizations, to give speaking engagements, and they don't know what to do because how do you choose if you don't know anybody?
Yeah.
So those are our, relocated companies and startups are our targets. But to answer your question, we've been working with, Pilot Bank and some other companies that are very well established here because our reputation is that we're not going to waste people's time.
Yeah. So speaking of that, what if you already have a marketing director in your company? How would you work with that company?
Great question. We complement them. I mean, we work with Vology. If you ever go to Lightning games or Emily Arena, Vology lose, right? So they've got a marketing director.
Got like 120 seats.
Yeah, the Vology suite.
Yeah,
it's amazing that suite.
So you work with that? What does Vology do?
They're a technology company, but they do have a marketing director, but they're not marketing the business community.
They're all B2B, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so, but getting out in the community, you've got to build a brand too. You've got to be present, and they don't know where to go. And sometimes they do know where to go, but it's that, okay, you're there, but do you know what the background of everyone in that room? And that's where we kind of educate and handhold, if you will, that customer.
Got it. Okay, so you can supplement for the current marketing guy, taking those guys to the next level, or if you don't have a marketing guy, you can be that person to put them in front of people. 17 to 32 events.
Yeah, and we take the CEO to those events because no one wants to meet me. They want to meet the decision maker of the business.
That's right. They don't want to meet the sales guy, Doug. But it's funny. Doug brings that up. Going back to his point in the last segment, he was saying about age, and age has a lot to do. A lot of times you're not taken seriously in business because you look young. And, my good genes have been a detriment on occasion. I tell people, 19 years in the industry. What? When did you start? When you're 6? I'm like, oh, man, so you don't really respect me, do you? But, do you find that in the industry as well, in business, age? Are you having an issue with that with people, or when you make the connection, that's fine?
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I started, people are like, how could you teach me what to do if you just got here? And what I find is I give examples and experience. And I say people do business, as you all know, with people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
And so I've built a reputation. When I walk into a room, and I also ran for office. I didn't win, but I ran for county commission. People know the name or they know the business name. And when you walk into a room and they say, oh, hey, how are you? I said, I want you to meet my friend here at TampaBay Plumbers. I mean, that's the next step. And then you do that connection. I say, he's got, he's a Florida State guy, you're a Florida State guy. And instantly they talk about Florida State and not about business.
Right.
And that builds a rapport.
Right. Yeah. That's how it's done.
Yeah. That is a great
relationship building.
It's relationship building. So, tell me a good story, Akash, something that maybe happened in one of your connections. You have anything good? I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, I got a great one. Yeah. I got a client. We have a client out of Seattle who said, "Look, we want to get into hospitality, and we have a technology. So basically, think about you walk into a hotel room and you forget your toothbrush. This technology, you can yell at the TV, and the hotel concierge will send up your toothbrush. That's the technology." So, and he's like, I want to get into the hospitality market in Tampa. And I was like, well, you got to be in Tampa first. Right. You live in Seattle. So I sent him the events list. He signed a 3-month contract with us. And I sent him the events list. I said, come to these 3 events. Like this week, if you come from Seattle to Tampa, come to these 3 events. First event was Saturday. It went well. Second event was a Monday, but I didn't even know about the Monday until the Saturday. Right? So he came to the Monday event, met an investor potential there. That night at 10:30, he had a call with that investor after the meeting on the Monday night. And the next day, he had the meeting in person, and that person bought 40% of his company.
Wow.
3 meetings. He was only here for 3 days or 4 days.
Yeah, I want to build on that, actually, because that is a great story.
I was just wondering what would show up at my hotel, what would show up to my door if they were listening.
Oh, yeah.
All the things. I mean, my God.
So when we come back,
I get a lot of trouble.
So that's another business.
When we come back in the business after this break, we're going to find out what showed up in Ryan's hotel room in the country of Cuba. And we're going to talk about connecting people for the purpose of investment. I'd like to hear more of that with Akash Patel of elevate-inc.com. You're listening to the Business Happy Hour. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Just Google a Business Happy Hour or watch our podcast 24 hours a day. We'll be back in just a minute.
Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword FAN to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FAN to 200-200.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-445-6363. That's 800-445-6363. 800-445-6363 or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
News on 1250 WHNZ.
Teacher walk-ins are being held around the state as educators send a message to lawmakers in Tallahassee to raise per-student funding by 10%. Florida ranks first among the states in the percentage of 4-year-olds enrolled in preschool, near the bottom in terms of dollars spent per child, according to a new report from the National Institute for Early Education Research.
The politicians have told their constituency they're providing high-quality preschool education, then they haven't funded it.
Spokesman Stephen Barnett says Florida needs to raise the quality of its preschool program. The Disney company will donate $5 million toward the effort to rebuild the fire-ravaged Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. The cathedral is prominently featured in the movie shown at the France Pavilion at Epcot. With Florida's news, I'm Larry Spillman.
We have some slow traffic westbound on I-4 from the Selma connector to 275. Got an accident at US 301 southbound north of Sims Road. A crash in the right lane southbound on Dale Mabry at Fletcher Avenue. And Spring Lake Highway remains closed in Brooksville north of Powell Road. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Edwick Hillsborough traffic tip line at 866-545-9595.
This report is sponsored by DEA Take Back Day, DEATakeback.com. Your unused prescription drugs could end up misused or stolen. Keep them safe. Clean them out. Take them back at DEA's National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, Saturday, April 27th. Find a collection site at DEATakeback.com.
This is Frank Coto, president of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com, your no junk fee mortgage lender. If you're a veteran and you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, please visit 813mortgage.com today and complete your fast, free 5-minute VA loan application. My team will approve you in less than 24 hours, and we will beat any written loan estimate from any other bank. Thank you to all of our customers who made us the #1 mortgage lender in Tampa over the last 19 years. Call 813mortgage today. And don't forget, you drop the E, we'll drop your fee.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, rely on Rude.
Your Tampa Bay forecast, mostly sunny today with near record heat but lower humidity, high 86. Tonight, mostly clear but more muggy, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, even warmer with a high 88. For more news, weather, and traffic, tune to WFLA at 94.5 in St. Pete, 105.9 in Tampa, or 99.1 in Newport Richey.
This report is sponsored by Express Services, Inc. You work hard. You know what it takes to succeed. Now it's time to put your experience to work and launch your business. For a limited time, Express Employment Professionals will give you $25,000 to open your franchise. Get to know Express. Visit expressfranchising.com today.
You're listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Oh, man, we are having too much fun here on the Business Happy Hour. I hope you guys have caught the first couple segments. It's been a great show. We have Akash Patel of Elevate. Elevate is the Tampa company. You can find them at elevate-inc.com. And we started the show talking about what's more important, who you know or what you know. And we've all agreed you got to have a little who you know in there to get to move forward in business. Even in a small town like Tampa, we're known as a good old boy network. But the tighter the good old boy network, sometimes the harder to get in, right, Akash?
Oh, that's right.
So you can hire his company to help introduce you. We're messing around in the break and almost missed the intro, talking about all the people that we know in town together and the connections that we've made. And even Gary over here. By the way, Gary, if they want to call in, what number are they going to call?
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Gotta love Mr. Gary. So before the break, Akash, you told us a really cool story. Did you say the company was from Seattle?
Seattle, yeah.
Seattle,
yeah.
Pretty much as far as you can get from Tampa in the continental United States.
You got it.
And this company had a great idea, and they wanted to get into hospitality. And they came and signed a contract with you. Mm-hmm. And within a few meetings, you said, what, somebody bought 40% of their company?
Yeah. And then have since introduced them to the CEO of Wyndham, which is a huge hotel chain, and taken their company to the next level. And that's what I tell people. You never know what's going to happen with these introductions. You just have to make the effort, and they have to be targeted.
Right, exactly. So I've found it very interesting that do people come to you to make a connection to have them invest in the company or get bought out? Is that a normal thing, or are you not really going that direction?
You know what? It's funny you asked that, Frank. It's not been the target of our business. Like in the contract, it's not saying we're going to raise XYZ for you or we're going to help. But it's happened so much because what you find is that when people like each other in the business sense, and some people have more capital than other people, and they've got to get rid of it. Right. They say, how can I get involved? And that is actually, for a business person, you all entrepreneurs, you want people to have skin in the game. Yep. Because that means you're going to make sure that they take you to the next level with them. And a lot of times what I do for companies, or we do it for companies, is we set up advisory boards or boards of directors. And so that's how we start the conversation. And sometimes people want to offer equity and things like that. But right now it's more just introducing people and let the client decide how they want to take that relationship to the next level.
And then sometimes it just organically happens. Is what you're saying, and that the bigger connection happens out of the smaller connection.
60% of the time.
60% of the time. Yeah. Wow. So if you're out there and you have a business right now, and you're thinking about either A, how can I get to the next level, or how can you elevate your business,
or how can you get off the ground,
or get off the ground, which I like what Akash said earlier about the startups, because a lot of times you're strapped for cash and time.
Yep.
And the one thing you don't have time to do, like Doug, for instance, what did you do to get Suncoast Roofing off the ground? Because you weren't a roofer, but you connected with somebody who had connections already.
No, actually, I just networked myself, kind of, and I met people that, our forte is tile, so I met people that lived in tile neighborhoods and basically just started networking myself there, and I picked up 4 or 5 jobs, and that's when I started my company.
I mean, one of the riskiest things you can do as a business owner is employ people. So when you hire a contractor like Elevate, you eliminate so much risk. It's a phenomenal idea for a startup.
Training, sick leave, personal issues. I mean, you don't know what's going on with them, right?
Exactly.
So this is and then the other part is you want these relationships, and you're going to hire someone who's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to have coffee with them, lunch with them, and then so and so is going to connect me. Well, why not just get direct to the point?
Right.
I mean, relationships are everything in business. I mean, I look at my business partner. He's a great guy, but if he were to go out there and try to start a company, he wouldn't be able to, because he doesn't connect to anybody. He doesn't network. He doesn't meet anybody. So, the amount of jobs he's brought to the table are very minuscule comparison to what I would have brought, what I bring to the table. So, relationships are everything in business.
Absolutely. And getting to, I lost my train of thought, but taking it to the next level, you've got your relationship, but then what about, the difference? You may have a guy in the business working for you doing it, and you're paying them a bunch of money, but you may not be able to keep them. So I was thinking about our guest next week is going to be talking about employee retention, but your solution fixes the employee retention thing right off the bat, because they're hiring you as a third party, and you're not going to quit on them, and they're not going to fire you because they're paying for you.
Right.
Yeah. Not to mention you have a great expectation of what's going to happen. I mean, 16 events a month.
Yeah.
I mean, golly.
No, 17 to 32.
17 to 30. I don't even know how you do that.
You strategize, and that's what we do. We do a strategy session, and you say, what's your top priority this month?
Yeah, I think you just need to show me. I'm going to have to take
Yeah.
I have to take
that's a meeting. You heard that on the radio here, yeah.
Perfect. All right, so what's the next event, and where are we going? Give us an example of some of the events, though. What are some? I know you're a member of everything.
How do you get into them? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm a member of the organization, so let's look at a chamber of commerce. It's simple, easy, right? Everyone joins, but then when you're at the chamber events, are you getting the return on investment, right? So I Elevate buys a table of 10, and then we have our strategy session and say, well, who do you want to meet? And it's, Doug, I want to meet Frank. Okay, well, I call Frank. Frank, I'm going to have Doug. You guys are at my table. And then at the event, you guys sit next to each other. So you have that time to build that rapport, and then you'll do a follow-up, and you'll be on your way. But the other part of it is that you mentioned earlier, there's social media proof, right? So I've got a social media team, and we take a picture of our table at that event, and we post it on our LinkedIn, and we post it on our Facebook. We post it on Twitter. And now people all over town are like, and then we tag your company, right? What we're doing today, we're tagging your TampaBay Plumber, we're tagging Lincoln Lending Group. People are like, well, why didn't I get to go to that table? I want to be part of that group. I want to be sitting there. But they were at that luncheon. They just didn't get to sit, with. So it's more of creating a demand and setting that expectation where if you're going to come to this chamber event, whatever it is, these are the 3 people that are going to do business with your company.
Nice. Okay. That makes perfect sense. So do you want to go into this question, but what does it cost for your services?
Absolutely. We're fixed costs. And so the way I look at it is I'm half as smart as a lawyer because lawyers bill hourly, and that's what we're really going to do. But lawyers minimum, is probably not yours, but minimum charge $300 an hour.
Right.
Yeah. I'm half as smart, so I'll charge $150 an hour. And how much physical time can you spend with us, either at an event, in person, or over the phone in a given week, or even email? You are a busy entrepreneur, you're a busy entrepreneur, you're a busy entrepreneur. But if you can give me an hour a day, then we can make money for you. So an hour a day, and there's 5 days in a business week. So 5 hours a week, $150 an hour, 4 weeks in a month, and we do 6-month contract. So $3,000 a month for 6 months, $18,000. So I literally had a startup. I went to a pitch competition in February. The startup has, in the legal community, they were paying their salesperson $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, what are you getting at it? And they said, not as what we wanted. I said, okay, well, when that person fails you, or you go a different direction, either one, whatever happens, you go your separate ways, we're $3,000 a month. And we're going to do what they do plus the marketing side. So we're cost effective, and I don't mind sharing it. It's one contract for every business, whether you're for-profit, nonprofit, small, big, medium. It's $3,000 a month for 6 months.
Okay, now that's something you told me this morning on the phone. I don't want to say this wrong, so I'll let you take it, but you only work with one business in each industry. Is that right at a time?
Yeah, I represent Pilot Bank, and if another bank calls me, that's great, but we're exclusive to our one bank.
Right, because if you're going to promote them, you got to stick to that one person. So if you work with Doug's company, it's only going to be one roofer, Ryan, one plumber.
And he would want that too. He would want me to go take on 3 different roofing companies.
Hey, Doug's the best on Monday, but on Tuesday, I know this other John over here.
Have you ever quit a client?
I have not quit a client. I've just had conversations with them where I said, you know what, you're paying me, and I'm doing work for you. But it seems like you don't like. So a good example is they say they want to meet somebody. So I'll set up the meeting and then they cancel it. I'm like, well,
so now utilizing your services.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying me, and I have to call and save face with that friendship that I have and say, listen, sorry, the client's going through stuff. But, and they just say, you know what, you're right, I've gone through something. I'll take a pause. So I've never quit on them, but I've kind of let them down saying, I'm not here just to make money. I'm here to make sure to deliver results.
Right.
So to answer your question.
Well, in business, there's so many, I know, speaking for Ryan, Doug, and myself, we have millions of good ideas. But right? But the difference between the successful guys I found are the guys who take the ideas and do something with them.
Yeah.
Compared to the guys who just sit around and
think about it.
Yeah, have a beer and talk about an idea. So, I mean, it seems to me that you could help us also take our ideas to the next level, putting us in front of the right people to implement those things. Do you ever run into implementation issues if people ask you to do that?
Well, a lot of it's follow-up, right?
Yeah,
so, they'll say, hey, it was a great chamber luncheon, and I had a great conversation with Doug. Okay, well, then call Doug for coffee and finish that conversation. Because then that's the only way it's going to go to the next level. Someone has to take initiative.
Yeah, got to be ready.
I would think another, and I don't know if you do this or not, is selling businesses. I think that'd be almost crucial for you too, because if you can connect the right people, and hey, look, I'm trying to get this sort of part of my business, and you can go just connect that.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that much because they're normally with us in the beginning and they like to it, but it's kind of down the line of investment. People are selling stock and equity in their business, and yeah, it is a great opportunity.
Yeah, I like that angle. Everybody likes to sell their business at some point, make some money on it. You build it up for a reason.
Especially now with the economy being up and everyone's doing well.
Yeah. How long have you guys been in business?
February 1, 2012, so 7 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Congratulations. Hey, this is the anniversary almost right here, 7
almost.
years.
The first month I had 3 clients. That was February 2012. Second month I had 2 clients. And the third month I had 1 client. And so May of 2012, I kind of went back to all the people that I was looking to do business with. Again, same cost. And I said, Tampa's going to host the Republican convention. If you hire us now, we'll get you into all the events that we've got going on through the RNC. And I had 8 clients in May of 2012, and today we have 22.
Nice.
Wow. See, that's beautiful. And then talk about those connections. I didn't even know you guys were connected politically like that.
Just really involved in different organizations. I've been appointed by the governor twice to chair our Early Learning Coalition of Hillsborough County, not the current governor, but Governor Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the politics and business go hand in hand. That is what better than anyone.
Yeah. Well, if anybody keeps listening to us, they knew we were focusing on politics for a couple of years, and who knows what's about to happen. How do you feel about the economy in Tampa? What's your feeling about that?
I think it's great right now. I was in an Economic Development Corporation board meeting yesterday where we're talking about all the great businesses moving here. My fear is that next year, as you can imagine, when it's presidential year, we'll see some hits.
Possible change. You never know. We're going to take another break going into our last segment. Don't forget to stay tuned for the business tip of the week. It's one of our favorite parts of the show. We're going to give you guys some sort of tip, and I'm not going to tell you what it is now, but we're going to help your business with a business tip of the week. You're listening to the Business Happy Hour on 1250 Live and 970 WFLA on Sunday mornings. We're in studio with Akash Patel of Elevate. That's elevate-tmpa.com. Inc.com. And don't forget, you guys can listen to the Business Happy Hour podcast or find us on YouTube or Facebook 24 hours a day. We'll be back in just a minute. And before I go, Rick Toseda, rickvisuals.com, our favorite in-house photographer here on the Business Happy Hour. We'll be back in a minute.
Have all the rain and storms this year left your roof unprotected? Do you need an honest, reliable, and trustworthy roofing company? Call Suncoast Roofing Solutions today at 813-283-2544 for a free evaluation and no obligation estimate. You'll appreciate their personalized solutions and no-pressure consultants. You can find Suncoast Roofing Solutions on the web at suncoastroofingsolutions.com, where honesty, integrity, and craftsmanship come first.
This is Frank Coto, president of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com, your no junk fee mortgage lender. If you're a veteran and you're looking to purchase or refinance a home, please visit 813mortgage.com today and complete your fast, free 5-minute VA loan application. My team will approve you in less than 24 hours, and we will beat any written loan estimate from any other bank. Thank you to all of our customers who made us the #1 mortgage lender in Tampa over the last 19 years. Call 813mortgage today. And don't forget, you drop the E, we'll drop your fee.
Hey, are you a plumber in Tampa Bay or know a plumber looking for a great career change? TampaBay Plumbers is looking for several qualified service plumbers with top compensation packages between $75,000 and $100,000 per year, offering paid holidays, vacation pay, major medical, and unbeatable work environment. We are the highest rated company because of our plumbers, and we want you to join our team today. Call 813-PLUMBER. That's 813-PLUMBER. Remember, plumbing problems are no problem for Tampa Bay Plumbers.
Honda's Dream Garage Spring Event is on, and every new Honda is on sale. Honda, I like it! Well-qualified buyers can save thousands today with 3.9% APR financing on the 2019 Honda Accord. The most impressive Accord ever, with 3.9% APR financing. Don't miss the Dream Garage Spring Event, going on now at your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. Offer ends 4/30/19.
Chris Broussard from The Odd Couple here with a very important message. If you're ever stopped at a railway crossing and the signals are flashing and you don't see the train, or it looks like it's moving slow and you're thinking maybe you can get across the tracks before the train comes, think about this. In 2018 alone, 270 people were killed at railroad crossings. 270. Stop! Trains can't.
This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
Great news! There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. All it takes is 15 minutes to find out if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And Geico offers coverage for more than just car insurance. Got a motorcycle? Geico's got you covered. Got an RV? Covered. Got a boat? Covered. And there's so much more Geico can help you with. Plus, don't forget the discounts. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. That's geico.com.
This is Eric Abrahamson with the injury law firm of Abrahamson and Udewick. This is our guarantee: no fees and no costs unless we get you compensation. That means no upfront retainer and no hourly billing. Call us to put our injury attorneys to work for you. 800-538-4878, Pinellas Hillsborough.
Purpose, partnership, precision. The Next Level with Frankie Lane, a new podcast from iHeartRadio. Insights to dominate in business and in life. The Next Level with Frankie Lane. New episodes every Saturday afternoon at 1 on 1250 WHNZ.
Hey, are you a plumber in Tampa Bay or know a plumber looking for a great career change? TampaBay Plumbers is looking for several qualified service plumbers with top compensation packages between $75,000 and $100,000 per year, offering paid holidays, vacation pay, major medical, and unbeatable work environment. We are the highest rated company because of our plumbers, and we want you to join our team today. Call 813-PLUMBER. That's 813-PLUMBER. Remember, plumbing problems are no problem for Tampa Bay Plumbers.
You're listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, Tampa Bay's #1 show for all things entrepreneurial. In studio today with Akash Patel of Elevate. You can find them at Elevate-Inc. Sorry,
You
going
got
too
it.
fast.
INC, yep.
That's INC.com. Or Twitter, at Patel Times on your Twitter handle. So, Akash, it's been a great show so far where we get to know you. It's awesome what you guys are doing for the local business community. I'm going to let you do the business tip of the week this week, and it's a good one, guys. But before that, our favorite in-house photographer, Rick Taseda, rickvisuals.com. He's got a testimonial for Akash.
Yeah, this goes back to 2013, I think it was, when we first met at the Center Club.
Yeah.
Akash was pursuing me, and I thought, he must think I'm an Indian, but I'm Hispanic, right? You know? So finally I meet him, and he says, hey, I got somebody I want you to meet. I said, who is it? He said, he's a realtor. I said, well, I don't need a realtor. He says, his name is Jamie. I said, okay. So he gave me Jamie's number. I called up Jamie. We got together, had some coffee. Jamie starts his radio program, that business show.
Yep.
And for the next 2.5 years, we meet about 2,000 guests.
Yep.
And I had so much business out of that one meeting. It was unbelievable. This morning, one of those clients called me from 5 years ago and says, we want you to be our photographer Saturday. So Akash is the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, man, I got to start billing him more. No, Rick is great. I mean, he was a client, and he was a great friend, and that radio show came out of our conversation with Jamie, and we created the idea for Jamie to have the award show that he had. And that was our idea for him. We worked for him, and he's right. I mean, look at the friendships and the relationships that are still there today, and that's what Tampa is all about. We want to, and you're doing it right here. Mm-hmm. This radio show you've created, you're getting people together to keep people to do business with each other here.
Right.
And that's what I think we had that missing during that downturn, and we picked it back up.
We did, and Tampa's a great community. It's a great business community, and all we can do is support it. The more connections you make, the more businesses we bring in, the more success we have, it's better for all of us in the business community. And Rick, I met Rick through Jamie, actually. So if you think about this, you introduced me to Rick and Jamie somehow, some way. Akash did. Jamie's what got us into radio. He had me co-host on his the business show for a while, and then I liked it so much I said, man, I want to do this on my own. And we started the Business Happy Hour here with Doug and Ryan shortly after. And now we're going on 3 years.
Congratulations, all of you. That's great.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. So I don't want to lose out on time for the business tip of the week. You've got a good one for us, a couple of them for us, Akash. Let's talk about that.
Well, every time we talk about networking events, and we talked about 17 to 32 that we take our clients to, the two things I tell them is the people that never get thanked are the organizers and the sponsors. So when you go to the event, there's always a host and there's always a sponsor. So thank them first because they know who's who. And number two, set up a goal of how many people you want to meet at the event. So for me, I like to meet 5 new people. Now, the goal is your personal, what you can do, but you've got to set that goal before you enter. So literally, I'll drive with my colleagues to an event and say, don't talk to me for 2.5 hours because I'm here to meet 5 new people, not talk to 5 people that I already know.
Oh, that's
interesting.
A really good point.
So what do you do with clients that aren't so outgoing, and how do you deal with that?
You follow them around like Rick.
You handhold them. No, I mean, it's just really true. Frank's right. I mean, you've got to engage with them. There's a point of connection where they're going to understand that, hey, listen, come with me. So-and-so goes to Carrollwood Day School. Their kids go to Carrollwood Day, find that connection point. But you know what? The connection point is, well, why are you here at the event?
Right. Yeah. What brings you here? Right.
Are you part of the chamber? Or are you part? Or where do you guys live around here? Or how about the lightning? Or how about the weather? There's something that's going to make them tick. You've got to be that conduit.
Right. So I mean, I've been going to trade shows for 19 years in the mortgage industry, and it's fun when you say that. Nowadays, I have a plan, and I go in there and I know, okay, well, I need to meet this lender, this investor, this credit company. I need to investigate this product. And I accomplish my goal, then I start having fun, right? But I used to literally be, all right, let's go find the bar. We go the whole group of people we are, then let's get a beer, then let's walk around, and let's start talking to people, but we never have a set plan. And having a plan before you go in it's a great idea. That's one of my favorite business tips that we've ever done is when you're going out to meet people, set a goal. 5, that's ambitious. Yeah. That's an ambitious one, but you can do it. Hell, I mean, Rick was one of them, so you got 4 other ones that day, I assume.
Of course, and the thing is once you say it over and over again, you're going to do it, and it's going to come naturally, and then you're going to do 10. It will be next week or whatever you want.
Right,
it's going to be your own personal goal.
And what about business cards? You said something about business cards too.
Yeah, I have a question over the internet about business cards.
Oh.
Simplicity or fancy?
Yeah, I like simple, like your email address, your Twitter handle, your maybe your cell phone number if you want to give it, or your office number. These days, people really don't need to know your address, but you can put it on there anyway. But for me, I like to carry business cards wherever I go. I have a business card holder, and it has my logo on it, and people say, "Okay, wow, you're networking because that's what I teach." So you got to practice what you teach. But for me, business cards should be in your gym bag. They should be in your dashboard. I mean, they should be with you at all times. Sorry, I got to call you out.
Oh, right. No, I've got no excuse.
Hey,
I've got 500 in my truck. It does me no good there. So, You know, I'm starting to realize how many people you do know in this town, and it was amazing because I had never met you before, and we have the same. I mean, my CFO has been working for you for 8 years. Yep. I just found that out this morning. I mean, that's crazy.
It is.
It's so funny.
Well, hey, what did we start with in beginning? It's not what you know, it's who you know, and you got to get to know somebody that knows the other people if you don't already have the connections yourself. And guys, if you're scared to get out and meet people and that's just not your thing, hire Akash. Hire Elevate. Trust me, he's going to get you over that fear, number one, but he's got so many good ideas. I mean, 19 years in business, and I never thought about the plans that I was making going into these trade shows, but subliminally I was doing it. And now I've got a guy who, is a specialist in this telling me I'm doing a great job. And the business card things, some people tell you these days, oh, business cards are dead. You don't need business cards or the internet. I completely disagree. No. You have to hand somebody something physical. The act of giving them something physical is an introduction in itself.
Yeah. It's out of sight, out of mind. And I'm not going to remember if I don't know your name, and I'm not going to remember your name if you don't give me your card.
It's all about relationship building. I mean, that's what business is all about. You know, I mean, it really is.
And the follow-up. Don't forget about the follow-up, because I've got a stack of cards on my desk, and I try to get through them every single week.
So we do a 24-hour rule, Frank.
Tell me. Let me hear it.
So if I go to an event and I meet 5 people, you need to follow up within 24 hours of meeting them. So it could be 5 p.m. the next day because you met them at night the night before, but my goal is block off that time on your schedule because you know you're going to the event on Tuesday.
Right.
So then Wednesday by 7 p.m., follow up.
And how do you follow up? Do you email? Do you call? Do you text? Like, what's your follow-up?
Great question. Email and LinkedIn, pretty much.
Nice.
Email and LinkedIn. Yeah. And if you know me, text me. Better text me. You'll never talk to me.
Email's so 1990s.
Gosh, do you agree or disagree? Email? People?
No, I think email. Here's why I like email. It's convenient for people to respond. I'm an email guy.
Email guy. Okay, so
I just get so many of them. It's hard. It's like, how do you filter through all that?
Yeah. Subject lines.
Yeah. you have an assistant that just scrubs your emails down for you.
No. I mean, I read it myself. I forward it to her what I need to do, right? But I'm saying the subject line of the email you write to me is how I'm going to get response.
I'm full of excuses over here today.
Yeah. So guys, we're going to take this right to the buzzer. Akash Patel, elevate-inc.com, at Patel Times. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an awesome show to have you here.
And go Knowles.
Yeah, and go Knowles. Guys, next week it's Jamie Van Syke with Employee Retention Specialist. We'll see you next week.
The proceeding was a paid program paid for by Lincoln Lending.